A very good morning. Welcome to Chartbusters, the show we're going to highlight plenty of buzzing stocks. As we speak, the Nifty has recovered from the low point of the day, but the Japanese index, that's not looking too good. That's down nearly around 650 points odd. So I think yet again, we're doing a relative outperformance. And the mid-cap index, on a day like this, when you have most Asian markets down between 1 to around 3%. Now you have the Japanese index. Remember, that's a developed market, but that's down nearly around 3%. You had overnight the US markets ending at fresh lows of 2018. And despite of that, our markets, in fact, currently we are seeing a bit of a sell-off yet again on the headline index, but the mid-cap index almost moved into the green. It's going to be interesting, Mangalam. We have every reason to see some profit taking today after the big rally that we have seen. And global cues as well, not very, very positive. I'll tell you what, if we don't see a larger dip from here, if we can see some sort of a pullback by the time we wound up, I think the bulls will be very, very happy. We're down 80 points now, but if we can pull back maybe to around the 10,920 odd mark, it'll be a rather good day.
Absolutely, it will be a rather good day. There would be some, some ammunition for some short covering. But the way we saw writing at the 11,000 put yesterday and 11,100 put, that was that looked like perhaps some of the bulls went a little more cheeky. However, the fact that some weight has been lifted off our markets, it would be good as you speak. But we're at the low point of the day, in line with how the global markets are trading. Interestingly, as we speak, the VIX has moved to the high point of the day. That's the India VIX, the volatility index. And yesterday you were talking about how the advanced decline lines are way too far. It's just a Wednesday yet. As we close into the weekend, pull up both the red and the green lines. They are, well, locked in an embrace.
Yeah, they're locked in an embrace. Looks like with the weekend coming up, but they said, let's get closer to each other. But on a serious note, Mangalam, getting into this event, it appears the FIs, they went long. Yesterday, you look at the FNO data as well very, very closely. They bought close to 2 longs for every one short position. And after a while, they added more longs than shorts. So that was one factor. The second factor was the cash market. Huge FI buy numbers, what we saw yesterday, and that's the highest we saw in the recent past. So
that was backed by good gross volumes as well.
Absolutely, gross volumes yesterday were close to around 5,200 crores approximately. So they went into this event net long, and it appears some money being taken off the table. We'll watch the institutional participation very, very closely. I think from tomorrow, people will be packing their bags. Unfortunately, both of us will be here.
Right. So on that note, what we do is start the headlines and then we start the show. PSU banks, they are in focus. The government is set to pump an additional 41,000 crore rupees to recapitalize those banks to boost liquidity. The government will seek Parliament not today.
And LME aluminium sinks to 16-month lows. The US says that they would withdraw sanctions on Russian aluminium producer Rusal. On the back of that, all those aluminium plays seeing some selling.
Bharti Airtel in focus on the back of a board meet today to consider fundraising. Remember, the company has debt of over 1 lakh crores. Jet Airways too surges as the board will look into its final restructuring plan today.
Well, the markets are trading lower. 10,880 is the level on the Nifty. How do you trade the Nifty from here? Ashwini Gujral joins in for giving us his technical check. Hi, Ashwini. Good morning. Well, yesterday you had told us that even when the markets are not doing much, you're expecting the market to build on from there. It did move higher in yesterday's trading session, but today global Q is not positive. So do you think we're going to see a bit of a down day? Would you look to short the index?
I would look at a down day, but there isn't great amount of pressure on the downside. You can't play a Nifty downside of 20 points. So this is a correction, much needed, much required, but the risk reward is not very good, and possibly you corrected hardly 70 odd points. You need a 200 point style correction before the market builds on again. Till that time, what you can do is the rupee has weakened, and possibly it's finding great amounts of resistance at about 69.50. So if rupee is going to go back to say 72 types, then IT stocks are positioned very well, and you could have a decent 2-3 day rally on IT trying to balance out on the index. So I don't think I want to enter into banks or Nifty or what's run up a lot. You want to enter stuff that hasn't run up and possibly can support the market from here. So that being the broad call, I think IRB Infra is a buy with a stop of 160, target of 172. Jubilant Food is a buy with a stop of 1355, target of 1410. And HCL Tech is a buy with a stop of 950, target of 985.
Right, Ashwini, you know, you were talking about the banks. Just a word on the Nifty bank. What levels are you looking at? Because yesterday, I remember, there was a fair amount of writing at the 27,200 put for the expiry today. The next stop is 27,000, where the maximum amount of put writing is. Do you think that level can be touched anywhere, anytime today?
Expiry, etc. You know, if you're sitting on a 2,000 point rally, then whatever the expiry is, there could be a bit of weakness and profit booking. So we are going fairly long into the Bank Nifty expiry, and I wouldn't be surprised that the Bank Nifty also corrects a couple of 100 points, maybe as early as today, as part of the 400-500 point correction that we are expecting. So chances are that the Nifty, Bank Nifty downsides widen a bit, but are kind of compensated by the IT index.
All right, and finally a word on BEML. That stock not too well this year, 45% down, but in this week itself it's seen a bit of a bounce from the lows, about 15-16% in this week, currently at the high point of the day as well.
So it's just crossed its 200-day moving average, so you can say it's probably bottomed out. Now, these sort of stocks, if you start to get some news flow, they do tend to run up. So my sense is 1100, 1120 could be a next target here.
Any disclosures, Ashwini?
We are long on several IT stocks from here.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for joining in, Ashwini, and giving us your trading call as well. Well, on that note, we'll slip into a short break. But up next, Karnataka Bank ties up with PaisaBazaar.com for home loans. We'll be joined by the management on the other side.